Hello. Good morning, madam. Hello.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, madam. Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir.
Shall we start, madam?
Yes, sir. Sure, we can start. Am I visible,
Yeah.
sir?
Thank. Yeah.
Right, sir. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Very good morning to one and all. Welcome back to the all the participants for second day of this seminar session on securing the digital forensics, a comprehensive guide to the cyber security. For that purpose, today we have a eminent personality as a resource person, Dr. S. Sri Ranjini Mokshagundam, madam. Madam, the great granddaughter of the eminent personality, Bharat Ratna Sri Mokshagundam Vishwesvaraya sir. Really very thankful you, madam, to accepting our invitation and share your knowledge to our students, madam. Behalf of our institution, our students, college, staff, whole Chalapati Institute of Technology, we are very glad to hear, madam. Thank you very much, madam. Before going to start the session, let us give a small introduction to our resource person, Dr. S. Sri Ranjini Makshavunda, madam. Madam completed her master's in MBA, done PhD of in BGS, madam acting as a research supervisor in Mysore.
Sir, are you speaking? I'm not able to, you're not audible.
You are audible.
Shall we start the session, sir?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I missed your introduction, sir. It was audible from your side. Hope the screen is visible now.
Yes, ma'am. Screen is visible and you are audible.
Right, sir. So a very good morning to one and all present here for the 2 days seminar on securing the digital frontier, a comprehensive guide to cybersecurity by Chalapati Institute of Technology, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. Hope my screen is changing. You are able to view my slides. Sir, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible, ma'am.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. So in today's interconnected world, protecting all our online presence is of utmost importance. Hope all the audience agree with me. So for the next 1 hour or so, we shall discuss about the cybersecurity essentials and how to safeguard our digital lives. Right. So very quickly, I'll tell you what is cybersecurity in simple terms. It is nothing but how we protect our electronic systems, our networks, or even our data. From what? It could be from damage, it could be from some theft, or any kind of illegal, unlawful, or unauthorized access. That means we are not letting other third party to have a unlawful access to our data or to our systems. Now, cybersecurity means it encompasses a broad range of practices, technologies, strategies, everything. It is aimed at ensuring there must be confidentiality. Means we are able to protect our sensitive information. Then there must be integrity. Means we are focusing on the accuracy and reliability of our data. Then also there must be the availability of digital assets. That means those assets, they are accessible whenever it is needed by us. Okay. What is the importance of cybersecurity in this digital age? Why? Why does this cybersecurity matters? Let us try to understand. Okay. So we see there is a extensive integration of technology, right? It has greatly simplified all our lives. Hope you believe with me or you agree with me. Now, this is enabling us to effortlessly I can sit here, I can order food even from Delhi, right? So I can purchase clothes, or even we all can travel to distant corners of the globe with just one simple click. So digital technology, it is deeply ingrained in our daily routines. Businesses across all sectors, they rely on digital devices today, mainly to maintain the crucial information, whether it is from their customer details or keeping their financial records, everything it is stored within their databases. So these digital devices, they are offering us, the users, seamless, or we can even call it as uninterrupted experiences. At the same time, what is happening? Safeguarding this sensitive data, it has become a critical concern for everybody, for individuals, for institutions, or even for the organizations. Now, we also should strengthen defenses against all types of cyber attacks. There comes into the picture the concept of cybersecurity and its importance in this information age. Why do we require it? For the protection of sensitive data. Yes. See, this era, we call it as information age, or even we can call it as cyber age. Now, this has led to the accumulation of massive amounts of sensitive data, especially. There is our personal information included. There are financial records, even our intellectual property, right? So cybersecurity measures, they are crucial to prevent the unofficial access, theft, or misuse of our data or our valuable information by somebody. How does this cybersecurity help? That part we will discuss later on. Now let's just understand what is the importance of cybersecurity. See, cyber attacks, it can even lead to significant financial losses. It could be even for individuals or even for businesses. Even the next step is for our nations. So cybersecurity measures, they help us to safeguard our financial transactions. They will prevent the fraud and also protect all of us. Preservation of privacy. Yeah. What is happening in this online age? Every individual, everywhere, we try to share one considerable amount of our personal information online, isn't it? So we do postings every day on social media platforms, whether it is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Everywhere we share our personal details. It could be about our work, it could be about our education history, our relationship status, right? People post that I'm single, I'm in a relationship, engaged, married, isn't it? My hometown is Tirupati, my hometown is Vishakhapatnam, Sri Shailam, Vijayawada. Yes, everything is online, right? Even we post our photos, whether it could be family gatherings, it could be the vacations, mainly, most importantly, the Insta Reels, right? We try to update our status each and every minute, every moment, as and when something happens, we want to put that stories about our daily activities, isn't it? I watched Guntur Kharam movie, fan show, morning 4:30 a.m. last week. I received Akshatam from Ayodhya temple yesterday, right? Yes, I definitely agree. It is a matter of national pride. People even say sorry for late posting. Today, I attended the public meeting or public speech of Power Star Pawan Kalyan. Okay, okay, I agree that you are a fan of him or somebody else. My dad will pledge gold at Manapuram due to money shortage for my elder sister's wedding. 1 week, our whole family will be native. By the way, there is one question. Who asked you for all this information, especially to post it online? Don't you think you yourselves are giving some hint to the attackers? Right. And then even speaking about this online dating platforms, we have Tinder, we have Bumble, OkCupid. As users, whoever will try to register there, you have to share your personal information, mainly to create profiles. And even very commonly on the e-commerce websites, online shopping sites such as Amazon, eBay, Flipkart, Meesho, they often require your personal details mainly for your account creation or even to process your order. And even in the banking and financial websites, where we want to manage our accounts or we want to conduct transactions, one has to provide personal data, right, for verification purposes. And email providers, it could be our Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, they also require your private information for account creation and even for communication, isn't it? Then even the healthcare online portals, if you want to access your medical records, or if you want to schedule your appointments, or if you want to seek some kind of health related information, this also, it might involve sharing some amount of individual health details of yours. Apart from this, whichever platform we touch upon, educational platforms, the learning management systems, LMS, Moodle, Google Classroom, Blackboard Learn, or even the online course platforms like Udemy, we have edX, Coursera, Skillshare, or even the educational websites. We have Duolingo, we have Code Academy, Khan Academy. All this will require your personal information if you want to enroll, isn't it? Then the professional networking platforms also. It could be LinkedIn, it could be Zing, Dribble, ResearchGate, where you use these platforms for your job searches or even for your career development. There also you are sharing your professional details. whatnot, even your travel and hospitality platforms, they also often require your personal information if you want to do reservations and bookings. Government portals have your information. They require your confidential information if you want to avail the services like tax filings, official documentation, permits, everything. And the common online forums, discussion boards, the community websites, like we all are in Quora, Reddit, the student room, Stack Exchange, where we all will try to engage in discussions on various topics every day, isn't it? There also we are sharing our personal opinions. We are trying to share our personal experiences. Then the cloud storage service platforms, it could be our Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive. There also we are, it is used for storing and sharing the documents. We store our photos, we save our files. Every day we have been using all these platforms and much more. Yes. Now, cybersecurity will ensure there is protection of our privacy in all these platforms. It tries to safeguard our private data from being exploited or from being misused or even disclosed without our consent. Okay. And then speaking about business continuity. See, businesses and organizations, they heavily rely on digital systems and networks, mainly for their daily operations. See, we have a customer relationship management software, CRM. We have human resource management systems, HRMS. Then we have accounting software for financial transactions, so on and so forth. Now, what is happening? The cybersecurity measures, it ensures the continuous availability of these critical services. It will prevent the disruptions, any kind of disturbances in between. Okay. And also it will protect against the cyber threats that could otherwise result in inactivity, downtime, isn't it? Then, see, cybersecurity also happens to be a critical component of our national security. Nations, they need to protect their critical infrastructure, the military systems, the sensitive government information from, especially from cyber threats. See, cyber attacks on the essential services such as power grids, utility systems, or even the communication networks, everything can definitely have severe consequences on a country's security and stability, especially without the cyber security measures. Prevention of cybercrime. This cybernetic era, it has given rise to various forms of cybercrime, whether it is hacking, whether it is identity theft, or any kind of online fraud. Now, the effective cybersecurity measures, it acts as a deterrent. It prevents and also helps the law enforcement agencies, whether it is in investigating or even prosecuting the cyber criminals. Protection of intellectual property. See, many businesses or even individuals, we create and store our intellectual property, our creative assets, especially in the digital formats. Don't we do that? Yes. Say, for example, a company's software developers, what they do, they create unique lines of codes, graphical elements, or even algorithms. All this will become constituting the IP, intellectual property. Then what will happen? These creations, they are stored digitally. We usually do that either on the local servers or in the cloud-based platforms, because we want easy access. As soon as I want to check it, immediately it must be available to me. Now, cybersecurity will help me to safeguard this property from theft or from the illicit access or any kind of cyber espionage, spying. Thereby, it also helps in preserving the innovation or creativity of the individuals. Yes. Then speaking about the interconnected nature of the digital world, means we all are connected globally. It also means cyber threats can quickly spread across borders, isn't it? So a cyber incident which happens in one part of the world, suppose it happens in US of A, it can have cascading effects even on India, even on Pakistan. It is something like a chain reaction that is happening globally. Now, there must be collaborative international efforts which are essential to address these kinds of cyber threats effectively. Not only the individuals need it, not only the businesses need it, nations, everybody need cyber security. Then, protecting against the cyber threats, it helps to maintain trust as well as reputation in, especially in online platforms, businesses, or any such kind of institutions. Then it is very much critical for the success of digital services or any kind of transactions we do. Then speaking about the rapid adoption of the emerging technologies, IoT, Internet of Things, AI, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, all these are introducing new cyber security challenges also. Now, what we have to do, securing these technologies is crucial, right? We want to prevent exploitation and also ensure there is a safe amalgamation of all these innovations into our daily lives. Hope you all are with me. Yes. Let us see what are the common cyber threats. Okay. Speaking about malware, it is nothing but it is short for malicious software. So it is nothing but a software that is designed to harm a computer system, in simple words. Now, this can be installed on your system through a variety of ways. You might be clicking on the malicious links, or even opening the infected attachments, or even downloading a pirated software. Now, what are the types in this? We have viruses. So they are nothing but the self-replicating or viral programs which will infect our files. It even spreads. Potentially, it will be damaging the data, or even it will be taking control of your systems. It has that much of power. Yeah, negative power. Worms. What are these? Very similar to viruses, but it can even stretch independently without the help of the host files. So they can quickly overwhelm your networks, and even it can consume all your resources. Trojans. It is something like masked, disguised. It poses to be legal, right? We think that it is a legitimate program, but it is tricking the users to install them. Once you install, what will happen? It can steal your data, or it can install other kinds of malware, or even it can disrupt all your system functions. Then, spyware. It monitors your user activity. It tries to gather all the information, but we don't have knowledge. I do not know what is happening on my system. Maybe for some kind of malicious purpose, like identity theft, this spyware is used for. Ransomware, we all know about it. It encrypts the user data, and the attacker will demand for ransom payment, right? If they want to decrypt it, decode it, till you pay them, you will be the users, they'll be locked out of your own information. I do not have access to my information till I pay them. Then we have adware. It displays all the unwanted advertisements. We all have experienced this, isn't it? So it is often aggressive. It can even track our user activity. Mainly they use this for the targeted advertising, or they just want to collect our data. What are these botnets? So they are the networks of compromised computers. Usually they'll be controlled by a central server, right? Even this is also used for the malicious purposes. Maybe they want to launch a coordinated attacks, or they just want to start sending you some spam. Then keyloggers. These are the programs which will record all your keystrokes, whatever you do on your computer. Now they try to capture your sensitive information. What is your username? What are your passwords? Right? And they can access it. Rootkits. So the malicious tools that allows unauthorized users, they can gain control over your computer system. But it is not that easy. They'll be hiding their presence. You cannot detect them. Backdoors. As the name tells you, it is something like hidden or undocumented access points, especially in our software or in our systems. What is it doing? Again, it is trying to provide the unauthorized access mainly to the attackers. So why do people do this? What are the impacts of this malware attacks? First thing, data loss or corruption. This malware, it can delete, it can encrypt, even it can modify your data. So it will be impacting your personal files, your business records, or any kind of critical infrastructure of your business. Then ransomware demands, data breaches, system disruptions. All this, what will happen? It can incur significant financial costs to you, isn't it? Then the data breaches or the system outrages, it can even damage your organization's reputation. Even it can erode the public, whatever the trust they have in your organization. Then this spyware and other malware, it can even steal your personal information. So obviously what is happening? It is leading to the privacy violations. So the infected systems, wherever this malware has been injected, it starts malfunctioning, or it might suddenly slow down. We don't understand what is happening with our system, right? Sometimes it might even shut down completely. And it is definitely impacting the productivity or even the business operations of our company. Hope we are clear till now. Yes. The next type of cyber threat is social engineering attacks. What does this mean? So these kind of attacks, they rely on manipulating people, right? They'll be giving up their personal information, or they'll be taking actions that will be harming their own security. We do not know. We just do it. So the social engineering attacks, we can call it as something like a cunning fox of our digital world. What they do, they just rely on our psychological manipulation. They want to use the trickery to gain access over your personal information or over your financial resources. Even they can have control over your computer systems also. Then what are the types in this social engineering attacks? Phishing. Though it is written as P, we pronounce it as phishing. What is this concept? Just imagine you are receiving an email seemingly from your bank. What does it say? It is urging you to update your account details. So what will happen? Unknowingly, we all will click on that link in the email, and we will be landing up on a fake website. And this website, it is designed to steal our login credentials. So this phishing attacks, they leverage trust and urgency. Through that, they are trying to lure the victims so that they'll be compromising their information. Then what is this dumpster diving? Physically, they'll be searching through some kind of discarded materials. It could be in the trash bins or dumpsters. If at all there is any valuable information, they just want to find out and they want to steal it. That is the concept of dumpster diving. Spear phishing. So this is also a targeted form of phishing itself. Now here, the assailants, the attackers, they customize their messages. They tailor their messages to a specific individual or to a specific organization, to Mr. A, Mr. B, isn't it? So often they try to use the information, whatever you post on your social media. That's why I was explaining in probably in the slide 2. What all you post on your social media, yes, somebody will be watching. Not everybody, but a few people might even misuse it in the way they want, right? Okay. Whatever you post on social media or any other sources, they'll be gathering that. And then they'll tailor the messages. I don't know, somebody will send some message from a so-and-so bank or so-and-so organization. They know my name, they know my complete name, or they know where am I working. I ask them, I have never visited your bank. I have never come to your organization. How do you know my name? So they don't reveal it. They say something else. We saw here on this particular platform, we checked on your YouTube channel. 90% of the times, That is a false information, right? Okay. So that's why be very, very careful. Whatever you speak in public, whatever you post on your social media, please. Then phishing. It is nothing but voice phishing. Attackers, what they do? They use phone calls. They try to impersonate. They pretend to be the trusted entities. They say, I'm from such and such bank, as I told you, or I'm from a government agency. And they'll be tricking you so that you reveal the sensitive information to them. Pretexting. So this approach, it involves, they'll be fabricating a scenario. Mainly, they want to gain your trust and cooperation. Say, for example, somebody will call you. He or she tells, I'm from tech support. I'm offering to fix some kind of computer problem that you have. Right now, you do not have such kind of computer problem at all. Your system is working very well. So they tell that we want to fix a non-existent computer problem. Through this, they are trying to gain the remote access to your system. So be very, very careful. What is this concept of baiting? Baiting is nothing but tempting. So can we resist the tempting offer? No. Usually we click on those links. So they just dangle the irresistible deals or some exclusive content. They show it as bait. How do they do this? They often provide you the free downloads or some kind of enticing links. Once you click on them, it might even inject malware onto your device, or even it can expose your personal information to them. Quid pro quo. So this tactic, it promises a favor in exchange for something valuable from you. Say, for example, an attacker, he or she might offer you, yes, they tell you, I can unlock your social media account, whichever is blocked. Now, in exchange, they are asking for your login credentials. If you fall prey for it, yes, nobody can help you. Then, tailgating. So this is a physical approach. Now, the attacker, what he or she does, they will piggyback on someone else's authorized access. They try to enter a restricted area, or they are trying to gain access to your computer system. In one or the other way, they'll be manipulating you, isn't it? Yeah. Quizzes and surveys. See, nowadays, social media quizzes, surveys, they're prompting users to share the personal information. Now, all this information, what they'll be doing, they use for further identity theft or any kind of malicious purposes, whatever we discussed till now. Impersonation. As the name tells you, invaders, they pretend to be someone else. As I told you, there might be from banks, or they tell we are your colleagues, I'm from IT support, or I'm just a trusted authority figure. They want to gain mainly access to your sensitive information or even to your resources. Watering hole attacks. So cyber criminals, they compromise the websites which is frequented by a specific group of individuals. They are exploiting the trust users have on those websites. Now, they are trying to deliver malware or they are trying to conduct phishing. Even social engineering attacks, they have lots of impacts. See, the unauthorized transactions, it can completely drain your bank accounts. It can cause significant financial hardship for you. The data breaches, it might steal your sensitive data. It can even cause the reputational damages or operational disruptions, like what we discussed in malware. Now, as a victim of social engineering attacks, what will happen to individuals? They'll be experiencing the emotional distress. They have anxiety, they have fear, frustration. All this is impacting their overall well-being, personal well-being, right? Whether it could be physical or it could be mental well-being. Denial of service, DOS, and the distributed denial of service, DDoS attacks. So these attacks, in simple words, they are designed to overwhelm a website or a server with traffic. Now what is happening? As a result, it is making it unavailable to the genuine users. Legitimate users are not able to use the website. See, this DOS attacks, it can be launched from a single computer or even from a network of computers known as botnet. Already we discussed about this under malware. Yeah, I'll tell you an example. Imagine there is a busy restaurant. It suddenly, it gets swarmed up by the hundreds of customers. Everybody is demanding immediate service. Now, what will happen? The kitchen gets stressed, orders just pile up one after the other. The real diners who are waiting from a long time, they just get frustrated and they leave the spot. Isn't it? Let's go to another restaurant, is what they decide. Now, that is essentially what a DOS attack does to a website or server. How does it work? A single attacker will flood the target system with excessive amounts of traffic. They'll be sending hundreds of requests, pings, all these things. Then what is happening? This will burden that system's resources. So what is happening as a result? It is making it unable to handle the legitimate, proper traffic. The genuine traffic, they are not able to handle it at all. As a result, what is happening? The website or the service, it becomes unavailable to the genuine users, legitimate users, right? Then speaking about DDoS, distributed denial of service, see, just think of this DOS attack like one person flooding a restaurant. Now, imagine hundreds or even thousands of people doing the same thing simultaneously. That is a DDoS attack. Okay, this is much more potent and also a challenging version to handle the DOS attack. Then, man in the middle, MIT-M attacks. So these attacks will occur when an attacker obstructs or intercepts the communication between two parties. Okay, so this MIT-M perpetrators, they can eavesdrop or they can even spy on your conversation, what is happening between two persons or with a person and a website. They try to steal data or even they can modify the communication. So MIT-M attacks, they can be launched on Wi-Fi networks, the coffee shops where you sit, college canteens where you sit, or any other public places. What will happen? An attacker, he will secretly position themselves between you and the website you are trying to access, as you see the image. Now they'll be eavesdropping, means they are trying to listen something secretly to what you are conversing in private. They are trying to potentially alter your communication. So this is the man in the middle attacks. What are the types in this? Wi-Fi sniffing. See, in public Wi-Fi hotspots, offenders can set up fake networks. They'll be trying to lure the users. Yes, I get free Wi-Fi hotspot. So why don't I use it? I'll just, what I do, I switch off my mobile data and I start connecting to the public Wi-Fi. Once connected, it can intercept the data that is transmitted over the network, including our passwords, financial information, everything they can see. DNS spoofing. See, by manipulating domain name system, DNS servers, hostiles, they can redirect your web traffic to the fake websites. So it poses to be the real ones, but they are mimicking it. Unknowingly, you might even enter your login credentials on these fake sites. So everything goes to that intruder, attacker. SSL hijacking. So secure sockets layer. Culprits, they can exploit vulnerabilities in your SSL protocol, which you use for secure communication between websites and the users. They can intercept, they can decrypt the encrypted data, right? So you'll be exposing your sensitive information here. Zero-day attacks. So these attacks, they target the vulnerabilities, means the weaknesses in the software. They just catch hold of it, whether it is in your software or in your hardware. The vendor himself doesn't know about these vulnerabilities, which is unknown to the vendor. They just catch hold of this. Cyber criminals, They exploit these vulnerabilities even before the developers have a chance to create, or even before they fix up this issue, or whether even before they distribute the patches to this. So such attacks take advantage of the 0-day window. Means there are 0 days of protection against this newly discovered vulnerability. This 0-day vulnerabilities, they are very much valuable for the attackers because they offer a higher chance of success before the security measures can be implemented, right? Before that, they can do anything. What are the types in this? Code injection. So harassers, they try to inject malicious code into the legitimate software or websites. They'll be allowing them to steal data, take control of your systems, or even they can launch further attacks. Memory corruption. So exploiting the vulnerabilities in how software manages memory, these attackers, they can gain unauthorized access to your sensitive information. They can even manipulate the program execution. Logic flaws. Weaknesses in the logic of how software functions. It can be used to bypass the security controls, or even it can cause unexpected behavior. Potentially, all these are definitely harmful to your system. See, the large-scale 0-day attacks, it can even compromise critical infrastructure and can even have major societal consequences. Okay. So supply chain attacks. You can even call it as third-party attacks or value chain attacks. So this particularly involves targeting the vulnerabilities in a system's supply chain. Attackers want to compromise the final product or the service. What they do, they try to exploit the trust that is established between an organization as well as its suppliers or its service providers. I'll tell a simple example. Think about a company, one imaginary company, ABC. This company is making and selling the popular toys. Now, they get materials from different suppliers because they have to build their toys. Now, an attacker wants to discreetly introduce a problem. What this attacker will do, he or she will convince one of the ABC toys material suppliers to change one key ingredient in the toy making process. That is something harmful, but nobody knows about this. Now, this harmful material, it is not easily noticeable during their regular checks, whatever they do. Now, the toys which are made with the changed material, they are manufactured and they are distributed to all the retail stores. Kids, parents, they buy these toys. They think it is safe and it is fun buying this particular kind of toy. Over time, what is happening? The harmful material inside the toy, it causes problems. Maybe it is making the kids sick, or it is damaging the toys unexpectedly. Now, this company, what we were speaking about, ABC Toys, it faces a big problem because their reputation is hurt and even its customers are unhappy. And this is what the malicious actor wanted, isn't it? That's why they did all such kind of things. So supply chain attacks, they can occur because of compromised software updates or vulnerable third-party components, or say even the social engineering attacks. Excuse me. Cryptojacking. It is also known as malicious cryptocurrency mining. So this is a type of malware that uses your computer's resources mainly to mine, to extract that cryptocurrency without your permission. So this term cryptojacking, it is derived from combining cryptocurrency as well as hijacking, cryptojacking. Instead of directly stealing your data or money, the cryptojackers, they focus on using the victim's processing power to mine the cryptocurrencies. It could be Bitcoin, it could be Monero, it could be Ethereum. So this activity, it can result in decreased system performance, or say increased energy consumption, or even it might pose you the potential hardware damage. Everybody, each and every organization has to be very careful about this attack. Insider threats. So these threats, as the name tells you, it comes from within an organization itself. Suppose it might be from a unhappy, disgruntled employee, or from a unhappy business partner, or even contractors. So these people, they might be having the authorized access to the organization's systems and data. Now what they'll be doing, they are trying to misuse, maybe for the personal gain, or they just want to harm the organization. What are the types in this? Malicious insiders. Who are these people? Usually they are driven by motives like financial gain, or they have some revenge against that individual or against that company, or they have some kind of ideological beliefs. Now, these individuals, they intentionally misuse their access and they want to harm the organization. Negligent insiders. Through carelessness or lack of awareness, these individuals also unintentionally they expose the sensitive information, or they are trying to compromise the systems of the organization. Compromised insiders. So employees whose credentials or systems which has been compromised, now they are allowing the external actors to exploit their access. Now, what are the impacts of this insider threats? Usually data breaches, system disruptions, loss of trust within the organization, as well as even with the external stakeholders. All this will be impacting the morale as well as the business relationships. IoT attacks, Internet of Things. Today, more devices become connected to the internet. Now, as a result, they also become potential targets for the attackers. See, as the number of IoT devices continues to grow, so does the potential attack surface for cyber criminals. Now, these devices may have weak security vulnerabilities. Now, attackers can exploit. Mainly, they want to gain access to your network, or they want to steal your data. Data breaches, botnet formation, denial of service attacks, DOS, what we just discussed, or even physical harm can also take place. So through this, what is happening? It is leading to the financial losses as usual. Yes. Public backlash, or they might be losing trust in this particular company, or it might even impact the brand reputation, market value. It might even pose the privacy violations, safety risks, especially when you think of the healthcare and infrastructure settings. Yes, these attacks are becoming more and more every day. Advanced persistent attack threats, APTs. So these are targeted attacks by highly skilled attackers, right? Often it is backed by nation states. So they use sophisticated techniques. They want to gain access to your sensitive information, but they remain undetected for long periods of time. We just don't understand who is doing, from where, what they are doing. Just imagine a cunning predator who is patiently stalking its prey for weeks, for months, or even for years. What does this predator do? It observes, it adapts, and even exploits every vulnerability, right? To gain access and to then deliver a devastating blow. So similarly, in this digital jungle, this predator, APT, it takes the form of advanced persistent threat. So this is a sophisticated cyber attack campaign. It targets specific organizations for long-term espionage, data theft, or even disruption. What are the types in this? State-sponsored APTs. As I told you, they'll be backed by nation states. So these APTs often target the critical infrastructure, the government agencies, or even the high profile businesses for strategic intelligence gathering. Cybercrime APTs. So this is driven obviously by the financial gain. These APTs, they focus on stealing the intellectual property or even your personal data or the financial assets from businesses or even from the individuals. Hacktivist APTs, they are motivated by their ideological or political goals. Okay. These APTs, they may disrupt operations or they may even leak the sensitive information or even they can spread the propaganda here. Business email compromise. From this name, yes, definitely you can understand something, BEC. So this type of phishing attack, it targets employees in businesses, especially those involved in finance or accounting. The agitators, what they do, they impersonate, they pretend to be the trusted individuals, such as they say, I'm the CEO of this company or vendors, and they trick the employees to mainly transfer money or the sensitive information. Just imagine opening your inbox, you find an email from your CEO. Urgently, he or she is requesting for a wire transfer or some kind of change in the vendor accounts. Here, when you open this email, everything seems legitimate. The address, the signature of your CEO, even the writing style. But in reality, you have just fallen victim to this BEC, business email compromise. This is a cunning cybercrime that exploits the human trust and email communication to steal money, data, or any kind of sensitive information. What are the types in this? CEO fraud. So they'll be impersonating, pretending that I'm a high-level executive. Now what attackers will do? They demand urgent financial transactions. They say it's an emergency, right? Or approve the fraudulent purchase orders. Vendor invoice scam. They pretend to be a familiar supplier. Now what attacker will do? Attacker will be sending the invoices for the non-existent services, or they just try to inflate the existing ones. Now, through this, they are aiming to trick payment departments into processing all the fraudulent transactions. It is something like a disguised merchant slipping all the false bills into your shopping cart. Account takeover. So hijacking the legitimate email accounts of employees, partners. What attackers will do? They'll be sending emails from the trusted contacts. As soon as you see that email, it will be blurring the lines between reality and deception. You cannot just make out whether it is true or whether it is false, whether it is fake. Yeah. Structured query language injection, SQLI. Just imagine a thief who is trying to infiltrate a high security wallet. He is not breaking through your walls. He is not cracking your codes, but cunningly they are trying to whisper some instructions to their guards, to the guards. So in this digital world, this analogy, it illustrates the SQL injection attacks. Here, attackers, they exploit the vulnerabilities, especially in the applications, which will be interacting with the databases. They want to manipulate or they want to steal the important data. Let me simplify this. I'll tell you how it works. First, they'll be finding the weak spots. Attackers, they look for the places on websites where they can creep in without being noticed. It could be the login forms or it could be the search boxes. Then what they do? They slip in the code. They cleverly insert a special code, but it looks harmless to this website. But actually, it is a secret command. Then they'll be tricking the database. The website unknowingly takes this secret command and uses it to talk to the database. Now, it is giving attacker the access. Ultimately, it is causing the trouble. Now, attacker can do any kind of bad things. They can steal passwords, they can change prices on your website, or even they can mess with your user accounts. It's like they have the keys to the website's secret wallet, right? Okay. Eavesdropping. The act of secretly listening to private conversations or communications without consent, and the image itself tells you. Now, today, you need not have to stand under a window or press your ear against a wall like her, or hide outside a door to listen to a conversation what is taking place inside. Instead, there is electronic surveillance, which encompasses a wide range of techniques, mainly for intercepting and recording communications. It could be through phone tapping. Yeah, means capturing phone calls through physical connections or through the means of software. Email and message interception is there, reading or recording the emails, text messages, or any form of electronic communication before they reach the intended recipient. Then we have network sniffing. It captures the data units, data packets, which are transmitted over a network. So they'll be trying to extract the information from them. Then we all know about the famous hidden cameras, microphones, right? So bugging a room with these devices allows for remote monitoring of conversations as well. Social engineering. So it is tricking someone to reveal their private information, especially the attacker is manipulating or playing deception. So the legality of this eavesdropping, it varies depending on the jurisdiction and the specific circumstances. Okay. Cross-site scripting, XSS. So, for instance, just imagine a playful troublemaker. He or she will sidestep into a popular meeting place. What they do, they just try to change all the messages on your bulletin board. Now, they are trying to fool people to go into the wrong way, wrong direction. In this digital world, this cross-site scripting is something like that, these attacks. How it works? The attackers, they find the vulnerabilities. They search for websites that don't properly validate or that don't properly sanitize the user input, such as the comment sections, search bars, forums. Yes. Now, they inject the malicious scripts here. Usually, they insert the JavaScript code or other scripts into these vulnerable fields, and also making it look harmless. Nobody can easily make out. Then starts the deceptive execution. Usually, the unsuspecting users, they do not know anything. They visit the compromised website. Now, their browsers unwittingly execute those injected scripts. It allows the attacker to steal cookies or the session tokens so that they can hijack the user sessions. It can even redirect the users to malicious websites, or they can even deface the website content, spread malware. They'll be just amplifying the damage. Already we discussed about this DNS, domain name system spoofing. It is also known as DNS cache poisoning. So we discussed about this under midterm attacks, isn't it? So this is a tricky cyber attack. This manipulates the DNS to send you to the fake websites instead of real ones you are trying to visit. It looks very similar to that. For example, let us say you want to visit your bank's website. Your computer asks a DNS server. It is something like a phone book for your internet. So it is asking for the bank's IP address, its internet address. Now, hacker will intercept the request and will send a fake response with the IP address of their own malicious website. As I told you, it looks almost identical to your real bank's site. Your computer, it trusts the DNS server, it gets directed to the hacker's fake site. Now, what will happen? The trouble is awaiting. The fake site might look like the real bank, but it is designed to steal your login credentials, your credit card information, or any sort of your sensitive data. Say you are asking directions for Queen Palace, but you end up visiting a haunted castle instead. That is what is happening with this DNS spoofing. Okay. So till now, we discussed about almost 15 types of cyber threats, right? That could trouble anybody, anytime. Hope you all agree with me. Now, how to safeguard from all these above threats? It requires a combination of proactive measures, awareness, also ongoing efforts to stay ahead of these evolving threats. So here are some general guidelines which will help everyone, each one of us, to protect against the common cyber threats. Install reputable antivirus and anti-malware software on all your devices. You can use Norton, AVG, Kaspersky, Avast. There is a list, whichever you want. Yes, definitely. Based on your financial constraints, you can install on all your devices so that you can maintain security and integrity of your digital devices. You can protect your personal information, and even you can ensure there is a safe online experience for you. Regularly update the operating systems, software, applications with the latest security patches. So please enable the automatic updates wherever possible, right? Yes. So your systems will get automatically updated. Then implement the firewalls. So these firewalls will monitor and control the incoming and outgoing network traffic. Consider using both hardware and software firewalls. Say, for example, for hardware, we have Cisco ASA, the Adaptive Security Appliance. We have SonicWall. There is Netgear ProSafe Firewall. And even for software firewalls, we have Zone Alarm. We have Norton Firewall and Windows Firewall, which is already built in on the Microsoft Windows. All these are for your added protection. Then enable MFA. So multi-factor authentication means you are adding an extra layer of security to your login process. Instead of just entering your username and password, MFA, it requires you to provide additional verification. Even if someone gets hold of your password, they would still need the additional factor, something like a temporary code that is sent to your mobile phone. Then only they can gain access to your accounts. So MFA is one of the powerful tools in preventing the unauthorized access, and also it protects your accounts from various security threats. Educate and train users. Yes, conduct regular cybersecurity awareness training for the employees. Teach them to recognize and avoid attempts and tactics of the attackers. Secure password practices. See, encourage the use of strong, unique passwords. Regularly, please update your passwords, and then avoid using the same passwords across multiple accounts. And that is for your extra safety. Then implement regular backup procedures, mainly for your critical data. So please store backups in a secure location. Preferably do it in the online locations. Then only you can prevent the ransomware attacks. Implement network security measures. See, configure secure Wi-Fi networks with strong encryption and unique passwords, as I told you. And please also monitor the network traffic. If there are any unusual activities, immediately you can know. Then conduct regular security audits and vulnerability assessments. Identify and also address the potential weaknesses, mainly in your systems and in your networks. Then use the SSL, Secure Sockets Layer, and TLS, Transport Layer Security. They are nothing but they work like the digital bodyguards. They ensure your sensitive information, it is staying private and also protected, especially when you use the websites or when you are using the online services. A TLS is nothing but it is an updated version of SSL. It offers the enhanced security features. Okay. SSL is secure sockets layer. TLS is transport layer security. Then limit user privileges. Grant the minimum level of access, which is only necessary for employees to perform their job functions. And also regularly review and update the user access permissions. Who has what permissions? That helps you to stay protected. Then secure the IoT devices, Internet of Things. Change all those default passwords on your IoT devices. Update the device firmware like the routers, printers, cameras, all other smart appliances regularly so that you can patch the vulnerabilities. Then develop and regularly update an incident response plan. It is something like a playbook which helps organizations quickly and effectively they can deal with the cybersecurity problems. They ensure they are able to detect it, they can contain it, and also recover from the incidents, while also they will be learning how to prevent them in future. Collaborate with cybersecurity experts, professionals, so that you can assess and also enhance your security measures. Stay informed about the emerging threats and also the best practices. See, please remember that the cyber security, it is an ongoing process. And the combination of all these measures can definitely significantly reduce the risk of you falling victims to the various cyber threats as we discussed till now. Okay. Yeah. And all the above discussed best practices, they collectively contribute to a robust cybersecurity posture. Right? It will be offering a multi-layered defense against various cyber threats, whether it is personal or even it is in your professional environments. So in conclusion, I would like to say, safeguarding your digital life, it requires a proactive approach to cyber security. By implementing the best practices such as what all we discussed, the device protection, safe online behavior, data protection, securing our internet connections, and also maintaining awareness at work, you fortify, you strengthen your defenses against all these evolving cyber threats. So please stay informed, be vigilant, right? And actively contribute to create a secure digital environment for yourselves and as well as for those around you, right? Yeah, now the floor is open for questions. Please go ahead. Feel free to share your thoughts or concerns about today's topic of discussion. Anything, any concept that you have not understood?
Yes, students, anybody having, yeah, yes, students, anybody having any doubts, please ask me. And students must fill the feedback form and attendance link in the chat box. Anybody having any doubts, please unmute yourself and ask your doubts.
Anything, any concept that you have not understood? Even the simplest things, anything you can ask me.
No, madam, your explanation was very good, madam.
Sir.
You explained very clearly. Thank you so much, madam.
Right, sir. Okay. So there are no doubts?
No, madam.
Yeah, I think they will ask any doubts, madam. Okay, madam. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much for your valuable information. It's really very informative, madam. Definitely used to our students. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much for your valuable
Sure, sir.
time to share with us. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank
I
you.
thank all the participants for your involvement and also the organizers for your hard work and dedication in making this 2-day seminar a success. And my special regards to Professor K. Kiran Kumar, sir, Principal, Chalapati Institute of Technology, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. Thanks for this opportunity, sir. Thank you all once again. Uh, Thank you, Dr. D. Kalyan Kumar, sir. Can I leave the session?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, madam. You can leave the session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You can leave the session, madam.
Sure, sir.
The students, please fill the feedback form and attendance list. Yeah, those who are fill the feedback form can leave the session.